TAQ Capital. Technical analysis quickly.
This is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. Before taking any action based on the information provided on this channel, it is recommended that you seek the advice of a professional licensed financial advisor.
Let's do this.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, this is probably going to look pretty crazy, but hang in there until you get to the end of the video and it'll all make sense. The wedge that we've been following since June 18th is the orange wedge. Unlike Bitcoin, Ethereum has not completed it. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and then 4 a miss, and now we're working on our breakout. Right now, we're in this area here. We started the retraction, the fall, back here, and we got a quick 1, 2, 3. So let me zoom in a bit. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we've come over, we've hit 5, and now we're doing a swoop and hopefully a breakout up here. And that will take us up into this area here, which will solidify the third hit on this blue wedge. Because once we break out of the orange, we're not only in this yellow, blue, and green here, we're also in this blue wedge right now. So we've got, on the blue wedge, we've got the one hit here, second hit here, and we're going for that third hit here before we have the big breakdown, which is going to take us down to, probably on Ethereum, I would imagine, anywhere between $400 and $600. On Bitcoin, I think we're headed down to 8,000 to 10,000. But right now, we're working on completing getting the fourth hit on the green, the fourth hit on the blue, the fourth hit on the yellow, the third hit on this blue, and then back down, ending all these little wedges to get our fourth hit on the blue down here. Zooming in even further, this is the 3 minute. You can see that we're in this green wedge right now, which is the last hit off of not both, but all three of the blue, yellow, and green wedge we just saw. So then we came up here, got 2, 3, 4, and now we're going to do this down and break out. Now it might be a subtle breakout before we go back up. And what that does, especially if you're new here, is reshape the green wedge. You can always draw a whole new wedge, but there's no point. Once the green wedge is completed, we'll just switch it around. What I mean by that is, let's say it hits right here. Then we would just take the green line and drag it down to that spot. And then we have 1, 2, at that point we'll have a 3, and then we'll be looking for a 4 even higher. And that 4 would have to make this be a miss. So then you'd be looking at standing up even more. Another possibility is that instead of 1, 2, 3, this new spot, 4, skipping this one, will actually be 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So then you'd also be moving this upper line off of here more to something like that, and then it's less steep. And that's why it's probably more likely. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And that would be the final completion of this orange wedge, which is this orange wedge, the one that's going down like that. And then we'd be off to get in that third spot on the blue. Now let's look at what the king is doing over here so we can compare the two. Well, if we jump down to the 3 minute, we have this 8 a.m. massive spike, just like we do on Ethereum, right here. So very similar. Now we're doing a little bit of retracement here, just like on Bitcoin. Because once you go this far out of the Bollinger Bands, you are going out the other side. Now it's nice that the Bollinger Band decided to come up, and we had all this bullish activity after the initial retracement. So now as it pokes out of the Bollinger Band here, we can continue to go up. And what that looks like on, say, the 1 hour is we poked out here, we got a slight retracement, and then the next hour we could go back up again and just continue to ride the Bollinger Band up, and we've got the bullish activity we've been looking for the last 36 hours probably. I mean, what I did over here is we're currently in this purple wedge, 1, 2, Oh, we've shifted off. There we go. 1, 2, 3. And yes, this is a miss. And then 4. And we're either doing a breakout down here or we're doing a swoop up. So why does this look like a hit? Let me take a look. If we zoom way in, we have a hit here and we have a hit here. The two middle ones are actually misses now. I know that before this was our hit, but now that we've got this new bottom out over here, it's this one. So now we've got the 1, 2, 3, and now we've got to work up here to get to 4, which is actually going to be right around 21.2, which we got from our Fibonacci retracement tool that tells us we're going to this position right here, because once we had this first run up, we could draw the Fibonacci retracement tool to see where the retracing was going to, and then boom, it'll come up now and get this next spot as it suggests it will over here. So 21.2 is a great time to put in a short, because that's when I think we're going to do the breakdown and out, and this is going to start the next major meltdown that's going to probably last the entire fourth quarter. But yeah, of course, there'll be little bear flags and opportunities to scalp and so on the way down, but I think we're headed to 8 to 10,000 on Bitcoin and 4 to 600 on Ethereum. So back to Ethereum, we have now completed our 3-minute cycle, as I call it, and we've probably done the 5-minute. Not yet. And we're going to be working on the 15-minute and the 30-minute. 30-minute we may not have to complete. I mean, if this comes up far enough, I mean, we're still got to break out of this green wedge that I originally had drawn differently, like this. So we've got our 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we need our breakout, and the breakout is literally just a breakout. It doesn't have to come down here, or way the hell down here. It can just be a breakout. So I think we're going to get our breakout somewhere in this vicinity. We're going to draw this line, the bottom green line, to where it comes through that, and then we're going to do 1, 2, 3 wherever that hits, and then we're going to work our way on fourth and end this orange line. I think once we break out of the orange, we might see a little bit of a pullback. I mean, theoretically, the red, yellow, and green on the top of these three wedges are all going through the same 1720 mark, which is where we're supposed to be headed to. So as this works its way up, then these lines will be drawn accordingly to incorporate wherever that hit is. And then that will complete the red, yellow, and green, and then it'll come down and break out of all of them. But as I said before, the 1720 isn't etched in stone. It could be, 1740, 1760, somewhere like that. And actually, if you look at the grid chart, you can see that 1720 here is also where it meets a fib line. So if we, continue to go up like this, and we hit through the 1720, it'll take us to about, 1730. We'd be hitting this fib line. Now we may wick up out of it to 1780 and then get caught there, and that might be the thing that brings us back down. So just keep your eyes on this. Keep watching this thing unfold. Be mindful that in the immediate short term here, we are looking at some more downside as we break this green wedge, but then we could definitely turn around and go up. And if I had to pick the exact location, I'd look at the lower Bollinger Band on the 15-minute for sure. Now this is going to continue to come up as this comes down, so that might end up being somewhere in here. But if you look at the 30-minute too, the Bollinger Band is down here, so that could end up being more like here. So essentially what I'm saying is I would pick the top of this yellow wedge that we just broke out of as a good retracement point. Even on the 1 hour, this is going to continue up here. Next candle is going to populate and come here, and we might even get a third one out of it, though I doubt it, before we start working our way back the other way. The issue is this is just way too big of an explosion outside of the Bollinger Bands on the 15:30 and 1 hour for it to not do a full retracement. You could get away with, just coming down here without doing a full retracement on the 2 hour before going back up again. but I don't think you're going to get away with it on the other time frames. I just don't. So imagine you can probably count on a 15, 30, and 1 hour cycle completion. And the 2 hour is a maybe, but I don't think the 2 hour is necessary. And then we're going to continue to go back up and break through this. You got to remember too, we're also fighting the same, actually it's not the same, it's the next one. Fibonacci line, because this Fibonacci line it's the one up here that it really respected at this point, and then this one became the center of attention forever, and now we're back to this one. So breaking through this fib line isn't going to be super easy. I mean, we blew through it here, but it got us and pulled us back. So now we're waiting to see how it's going to interact with it again. Then we've got this one up here, and we've got this one up here, and so on. So you want to be mindful of these different levels. Now some it'll just blow right through a couple of them. Like you can see these candles here. I mean, it shot through, well, it used this one as support, blew through that one, and then that one was resistance. And then we came crashing down again over here. And you can see we just bounced between these lines. And the way that I set those up, I'm going to record a video for that here at some point, and go through how I set them up. But for now, just be mindful of them as this unfolds, and keep your eye on these lower Bollinger Bands on the 15, 30, and the 1 hour. But that's it for me, guys. If you found this useful, like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to get more regular updates, get to my Twitter and Instagram, probably Instagram most notably. And if you're having issues with alerts on YouTube, I try to post everything onto my Telegram channel so you're made aware of it right away and not having to fall victim to the YouTube failed alert system. So thanks for watching, and have a great weekend out there, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.